friends, it's Nancy, and I had sort of teased that I would get these flip-throughs done yesterday, but didn't happen. I got so involved with this one that I didn't finish these ones. I had just had some bits and pieces to make to fit into pockets and that sort of thing. This one is also not done. It's assembled and I love it. But again, it needs some ephemera. So I'll put that aside. But we do have these two journals done, so let's get flipping. So I forgot to do the measuring. We always need to measure. 5 by 7 5/8. The spine is, an inch and a half. It has a hidden hollow back spine with 7 signatures. And the inside covers are fabric. This is a reproduction William Morris design. And the blue and the green and the purple I thought was nice. Lots of florals in here because this is the one that I did the Frankenstein pages a la Julie of Camellia Crafts. These are vintage doilies that I have glued in here to be pockets. This is a tag that I made using vintage 1920s pharmacy prescriptions. And that was Rose Hill Paper Cottage. I think it was her that inspired me to do these tags. And just a little bit of dotted lace there for a pull. Original page with there's a ton of lace and textiles in here. So hand crocheted lace. This is a tea-dyed envelope, and inside the envelope I have put this journaling card that I made. I made these faux postcards, I think in a Tuesday Take Out the Trash video. So we don't have to shove her all the way down there. So here's an example of the Frankenstein pages. Tea-dyed paper. This is a Frankenstein paper. Here's the other half of that big envelope. And there's some vintage lace here on this page. Some crocheted lace on this one. Here's a little tuck spot I made. So this was paper from a scrapbook, a newspaper clippings. A little bit of texture paste, some faux vintage. I just tuck that in there. This is an envelope, vintage from an envelope that held postcards. This is a class roll call paper. More Frankenstein. This is an envelope. And this was a postcard. I just covered the back. So all of the florals and nature and, yeah, animals. This is some vintage lace. This is some hand knit lace. Frankenstein. I used some Edith Holden there. This came from a small notebook. This page here I actually got, it was framed, and in pencil here it says 1919. I didn't put that there. I think somebody got this out of a book, framed it. I got it for pennies, and I took the book page out. Made this little cluster piece here recently. It was another Tuesday project. So this has a little teacup with violets. Some more vintage lace. This is some hand crocheted lace. Here's a little pocket I made from an envelope. A couple of matching tags here. And the stamps on this envelope have moths. More Frankenstein page. And here we have some vintage lace. Another scrap of vintage lace here. Another pocket that I made from a book page, and this is a little journal card I made recently on a Tuesday video. I think I'm going to make another book similar to this with the flowers and nature and that sort of thing. I really enjoyed that, and I have the pages to do it. This is some vintage lace. This is fabric from I think from a handkerchief. Whoops. There's some Edith Holden. This is part of an actual letter. This is from a stamp collecting book. A little bit of steno. Squirrel. We have red squirrels in our yard. Well, I guess it's our neighbor's tree, really. More lace. This was torn off a napkin, I think. This is a piece of from a game. Lots of fussy cuts throughout. And there's the back page. And another tag with the prescriptions that I was inspired to make by, I think, Heather from Rose Hill Paper Cottage. All right, so that's opening a chestnut burr. Next one is my sewing journal that I made a patchwork cover for using coordinating paper. Somebody's shoe. It's a big one, 9 3/8 by 6 1/4, and the spine, let's say 1 1/4 inches. Another hidden hollow back spine. This time I only have 5 signatures. lots of stuff though. So I used leftover fabric to make this double pocket. And this the background of the end page is also fabric. This is just a scrap card that I made using paper and things that had been torn. So there's a journaling card. This is a button card. I made a faux button card there. That pink lace is a great match. There's a title page from a textbook for a home economics class from 1941, it says. Scrapbook paper, but this is some vintage eyelet lace. Little piece of notebook paper. This is avocado dyed. This little fussy cut came from a vintage sewing pattern. Again, I've done this Frankensteining technique of putting paper together. This is an advertisement here. Make sure I'm centered. This is an advertisement from inside a ball of crochet cotton that advertises different pattern booklets. There's some tea-dyed paper. This is a certificate for a sewing machine, a warranty for a new home sewing machine. This piece came from a zipper. And just a little flip up there. It came from a iron-on embroidery pattern, and just a little scrap from instructions. So this one has some pattern package, some instructions, tea-dyed paper. This here is, it pulls out. This is how to use a specific kind of knitting needle. Let's put something in there. So this is a tag that I made, or a journaling card. And this is a fussy cut from a vintage magazine. And this is a page from a instruction manual for a Singer sewing machine. Here's some more fuzzy cut, and this was just a page of, it's like kind of like a linen-y kind of finish on that page. It's really interesting, and somebody's obviously done some calculations here. Ruffle fabric, the same fabric that I used on the end papers. This is an envelope from mail order patterns. This is a page from a book. It has these beautiful close-up, sort of creamy, pinky. This is a journal card I made from vintage seam binding. You can see I've used some pattern paper back there. And this is excuse me, this is a button, an envelope that extra buttons would have been in on a new piece of clothing. So this flip goes all the way around, makes another pocket. So here I've just fussy cut this lady, and inside is a tag that I made. It actually opens up. And just made a little collage here with a vintage button. That's again, here's some more of that anchor advertising inside a crochet cotton ball. This came from a catalog, 1930s catalog. This came from an old embroidery book. Here we have from an old book of quilting patterns. This is another book page, and it has some rolls of fabric and a picture of an order form. This is a button card that I backed, so it can be used as a journaling card. This here is, I believe it's Dutch. So this was mending wool for, mending your socks or whatever. So I covered up the center with some paper so that this could be used, mount a picture on there or do some journaling on there. A little bit of fabric. And I did some basting stitches there to sort of ruffle things up. This is a little bit of book page, blank book page, and I used stamp, rubber stamp to make that image. A little bit of scraps of paper, or not paper, sorry, fabric. This is an image from a magazine. And I've just layered it on some thread, and these are they're iron-on designs for embroidery. Here's some more fabric ruffle. This is some composition paper, vintage, and I just used this piece of tissue, and it has all of these different words that have to do with sewing. A little bit of fake tape there to... I had a tiny little tear. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Maybe I did. Again, there's some more vintage eyelet lace. That's from an old notebook. Iron-on embroidery pattern. This is avocado dyed paper. This came from a book. This came from a book. Here I have used the back of a vintage pattern, folded over to make this little tuck spot. This is some instructions about how to use like a hand sewing machine, some gimmicky thing. This is some old ephemera here. I just put some paper on the back so it can be used for journaling. And here's a tag I made. There she is. So this is pattern paper in the background. She's fussy cut from a paper, an envelope, pattern envelope. And this is some scrapbook paper that's pink and has these little dresses on it, because we like pink. Here's some little fold outs here. I made these two little tags in a video recently. This is some more iron-on transfer paper. Here's a tall pocket I made with leftover fabric. This is just a little crochet motif. And inside I've put these button cards that have been backed with some more of that pink scrapbook paper. Get in there, guys. This is silk ribbon. Not sure. Oh, okay. Not sure why it's coming undone, but it's silk ribbon. This is a letter from, I think, from the 30s. Another little iron-on bit here and here. Oops. Some Frankenstein paper. Got another spot there. Nope, that's not going to fit. Huh. What about you? Will you fit? No. We will figure something out. Maybe I'll just put that there for now. Beautiful eyelet lace. This is cut from a box for button holder. I just added this little teacup. I made this tag using a genuine library card, but I added some button and measuring tape and a little fussy cut from a vintage greeting card. Made this little embellishment here recently. It was a picture from a magazine. This is the paper wrapping from a ball of wool. Now I have layered this onto card so it's nice and stiff. This came from Eaton's and the price was 4 balls for $1.25. This is a book, a little booklet for instructions, but I took it apart and made my own little booklet. So it has a little up tuck there. I just slid some paper in, a little down tuck here, or I guess a pocket, slid some paper in there. And then there's some actual tea-dyed paper in here. There's the pamphlet stitch that I used to sew it together. So there's a handy little booklet. More embroidery, iron-on pattern. This is a letter from the 1920s from the Anderson School of Designing. So this was about designing fashion and had all of these measurements, you know, back, shoulder, that sort of thing. This came from the school in Toronto. This is avocado dyed paper. Here's another little embellishment that I made. I thought maybe I better check and pull down a bit. A little embellishment I made. A bowl of buttons and some other sewing accessories. This came from a reproduction catalog. With all these sewing notions. Frankenstein. Here's a little tag I made from an instruction booklet from an old Singer sewing machine. It's got tea-dyed paper on the back for journaling, and this beautiful old eyelet, and a little bit of tatting. This booklet came from a little handheld sewing machine. And this is from a booklet about a buttonholer, a Singer buttonholer. Again, tea-dyed paper on the back. This is a old needle packet, and I just tucked these little tags up in there. Hey, there's a little spot there. I'll tuck you in. This came from a home economics textbook. Fussy cut from a pattern. Got another little spot there. Fussy cut, little scrap, little price tag. It still has the pin in it. This is an illustration of parts from a Singer sewing machine. Buttonhole attachment. Little rubber stamp. And last but not least is another Frankenstein page. In the back, I have this mending wool spool. And here's another journaling card that I made using, look at the engraving on that, using a page from a sewing machine how-to booklet. And I put them in these double pockets. So I have to stick you back from where you came. So I need to make something for it's disappeared. So in this journal, there's lots of room for writing, but also lots of room to collage. Okay, this is the spot. So I've got to make something to go in this little spot. I'll take care of that. It'll be a surprise. If you're seeing this video, prepare yourself to see these two journals uploaded to my Etsy shop. I'm going to say Tuesday, the 18th of July at 6 p.m. Both these journals will be listed. Tomorrow's Tuesday. So I have a whole envelope here, not an envelope, but a file folder of scraps from making this journal. I'm going to see if I can use some of these scraps to make the final embellishments for this little traveler's notebook. But there's, you know, lots of good stuff in here. This is vintage music paper, and that's genuine old tape, and you know, old letters and postcards and that sort of thing. So I think you'll enjoy this one as well, but it's not ready. Okay, take care. Have a great rest of your Monday. Oh, I forgot to do the drawing for the Christmas paper. Let me get that organized. Hang on. All right, there is the winner of the Simple Stories Christmas paper. Catherine, if you want to send me a message either through Instagram or my Etsy shop, then I can get your address and get that paper out to you in the mail as soon as possible. Thanks so much to everybody who watched that video and entered into the drawing. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.